Now, this problem I'm going to be describing to you isn't necessarily new. It's just something that I just recognize, so it's new to me. But one of the key elements that really bothers me is that we have this problem, and it's tied to unemployment, especially experienced workers. And we know it's critical, we know it's getting worse, and the powers that be try to do something to actually improve the situation, but the fact is they're only trying to work on the symptom and not really trying to solve the problem per se. And it makes me want to holler. But don't worry, this video lecture is not going to be a rant from my end, but rather describe the situation and propose a solution. I'd be very keen on your feedback. So what's the situation? We have a number of people within our society that finished, let's say, with university education, started with a large organization, of course, going way back when. One time you used to think that you would work for the same company for the rest of your life. Obviously, that situation's changed. But let's say you've started, entry position, you are able to work your way up in the organization. Let's say this is a multinational organization. So you're dealing with all kinds of different people, and you obtain various experience throughout the time. And let's say you're sitting in the headquarters. Now, all of a sudden, the headquarters decides that they want to move somewhere. And you're sitting here with a number of years experience, better said, and you're posed the question by your employer. You can either move with us to the new headquarters, or we'll give you a severance package. And so this is the choice that you have. And let's say that these individuals will have a family, and it's not so easy to just go ahead and pick up and move somewhere else. Let's try to frame the situation a little bit better. Let's say that these individuals are late 40s, early 50s, and all of a sudden, after 20, 30 years of experience, they're unemployed. And they've very possibly been only working with this one employer their entire life. So they're unemployed, they go to the unemployment office, they stand in line with everybody else, they fill out the application, and then they have to go ahead and perform some sort of skills assessment. And these individuals will ask you, well, what's your specialty? After 20 to 30 years, you've gone from being a specialist to a generalist. And so this question becomes very difficult to answer. I said, okay, good. Well, let's just go ahead and move to the next point. They say at the employment office. So let's go ahead and start looking at the jobs that are available. And we've noticed that 90% are asking for somebody who's young and dynamic, which is a euphemism for cheap. For the most part. You might be dynamic, but you're not young anymore, and so you're disqualified for this. And so then the employment officer comes to you and says, all right, so you're not young and dynamic, and you have no specialty. What are we going to do with you? We need to retrofit you. So they send you to courses, and you learn some trade, whatever it may be, and then you go ahead and go through the process again. Still don't fit. What's the solution? We'll give you more courses. And this continues on and on and on. And so what's the collateral damage that we have from the situation? Obviously, if you're the individual who's actually going through this exercise, you start losing self-worth like there's no tomorrow. You start questioning your ability, and the longer you're out of the workforce, the worse it is to actually imagine yourself performing these activities. We're paying through the nose in our society for people who can actually bring added value immediately to a number of organizations, but we don't know how to actually go ahead and place them. Now, there is no easy solution. Obviously, we need to go ahead and start much earlier in the process, and really that's what I'd like to go ahead and propose to you right here. If we assume that the corporations that we're working for take responsibility for our career development, especially the skill set that we need to develop to work in this environment that we have today, that's a pure fallacy. And so we need to go ahead and take responsibility for all of this much earlier in the process and not wait until we actually get to this point. It's the impetus from my side to actually go ahead and get started with my proposal, the portal that I put together, looking at career development, allowing for individuals to go ahead and take charge of their own career development. And as I mentioned, I'd be very keen on your feedback. So thanks for that.